مساء الخير وأهلا بكم إلى حلقة جديدة من برنامج واشنطن أونلاين. معي أنا هديل عويس على شبكة نورث بريس. للمرة الثانية خلال أقل من شهر أسقطت القوات الأمريكية مسيرة تركية حلقت فوق شمال شرق سوريا. فما هي تداعيات هذه الحادثة على العلاقة الأمريكية التركية؟ وهل تحاول تركيا استغلال الأحداث في غزة للتصعيد ضد مناطق شمال شرق سوريا؟ هذا ما نبحثه في حلقة اليوم من واشنطن أونلاين، وضيفي لهذه الحلقة هو الدبلوماسي الأمريكي السيد جيمس جيفري، وهو المبعوث الأمريكي السابق إلى سوريا. ابقوا معنا لمتابعة هذا اللقاء. أهلا وسهلا بك ضيفي الدبلوماسي الأمريكي السيد جيمس جيفري في حلقة اليوم من واشنطن أونلاين. سيد جيفري، هذه هي المرة الثانية التي يسقط فيها الجيش الأمريكي مسيرة تركية فوق الأراضي السورية. لماذا تخشى الولايات المتحدة اليوم المسيرات التركية التي تحلق فوق الأراضي السورية؟ ولماذا تقدم تركيا أصلا على مثل هذه الخطوة؟
Okay, I think many of your viewers know that I have always tried to be fair towards Turkey and understand their positions, including in northeast Syria, where it's a very complicated situation. The allies of the United States there are also an element of the PKK, and there are strikes all of the time. But doing this over the weekend is the stupidest action by Turkish authorities I have seen in years. Look at the situation in the whole Middle East. United States forces are under attack and have been under attack for weeks in Syria, right where that Turkish drone was flying, and in Iraq by Iranian and Iranian-backed militias. It's a state of near war. We've got 2 aircraft carriers and a dozen other ships in the region we have reinforced. So why was this drone flying in close proximity to American troops at this very, very sensitive time? This is brain dead. This is really bad. It means that somebody in Ankara is not carrying out political oversight over these things. We understand, and we've lived with hundreds and hundreds of Turkish strikes against the SDF in northeast Syria. We complained at times, we shot down one drone, but why was this one flying so close to us at a time when our troops are at heightened alert? Everybody knows this. That's why Blinken went to Iraq to warn the Iraqis. He was in Turkey today. I mean, I just don't understand this. We understand Turkey's rationale for striking the SDF, or the United States does. We would prefer it didn't, but we understand as long as they will not separate themselves from the PKK, it's a right of self-defense. But at this time doing this, when the American forces are on heightened alert because of Iranian strikes, is simply somebody in Ankara, and Turkey is a very sophisticated country. Somebody in Ankara is not paying attention to the overall situation. You have been bombing the PKK since 1983. It's still out there in Iraq and Syria and in some places in Turkey. You can wait a few weeks for this situation to clarify, I would say, before you continue these strikes. That's my recommendation. This is not good under these circumstances.
نعم، إسرائيل تصعد اليوم في غزة بحجة أن حماس مجموعة إرهابية وتؤثر على الأمن القومي الإسرائيلي، وبالتالي لإسرائيل الحق في هذا التصعيد. هل تستخدم تركيا اليوم ذريعة ما يحدث في غزة والتصعيد الإسرائيلي لكي تصعد أيضا في شمال شرق سوريا؟ وتقول تركيا بدورها أن حزب العمال الكردستاني التي تتهم قوات سوريا الديمقراطية بأنها مرتبطة به هي أيضا جماعة تؤثر على الأمن القومي التركي، وبالتالي من حق تركيا كما إسرائيل التصعيد أيضا عسكريا.
Well, wait a second. Have you ever heard the United States say you couldn't? I have heard many, many times, even when we have been concerned, the first thing we say is in the Pentagon press briefings is we understand and accept Turkey's right to defend itself against the PKK. We get it. We understand that the SDF is an element of the PKK. It's a question of A, doing this very close to U.S. forces, and B, doing this at this ultra-sensitive time when the whole Middle East is a powder keg. It's not a plan. I don't think anybody said, boy, this is a really good time to fly drones close to American forces when they're being bombed by Iranians with drones and rockets and other things. I think somebody just didn't think, and that's worrisome. It's the region is too sensitive at this time to have business as usual. Find someplace else in in another country or another area to, bomb. Keep away from American forces right now. It's not smart. And Turkey can and should play an important role. The first thing is have good relations with the United States. Don't fly armed drones over American positions. How's that? Second, because of Turkey's critical position with the Ukraine war that it plays a big role in, and the Gaza war, where Turkey can play a mediating role, it's very important that Turkey keeps lines open to everyone. That is Qatar, that is the United States, that is Hamas, just like Qatar does, that is to Israel, and that is to the Arab states. It's very important, and Turkey, of course, can play an important role. We wanted to. That's why Blinken went to Ankara.
Mm-hmm. هل تعتقد أن سوريا ستدخل على خط التصعيد والحرب في غزة؟ هل ستكون سوريا جزء من هذا الصراع؟ رأينا الأسبوع الماضي الجميع كان ينتظر خطاب حسن نصر الله زعيم حزب الله، وهناك خشية من التصعيد على الحدود اللبنانية الإسرائيلية. هل الحدود السورية الإسرائيلية أيضا هي مصدر قلق اليوم للولايات المتحدة؟
I think it is possible that they will continue firing rockets at American forces. That's the whole reason why Turkish drones should stay away from American forces, because they're already under fire and they're going to be very quick to react. But I don't think anybody wants to escalate this. President Biden made clear that he will react very strongly if there's an escalation. You saw 2 weeks ago, an American destroyer in the Red Sea shot down 4 cruise missiles and 19 drones fired by the Houthis, another ally of Iran's, towards Israel. That is where we are.
خلال زيارته الأخيرة إلى الولايات المتحدة التقى الرئيس التركي أردوغان بمجموعة من قيادات المنظمات الداعمة لإسرائيل هنا في أمريكا، وهذا كان جزء من بداية جديدة للعلاقة التركية الإسرائيلية. هل ترى أن العلاقة ستتدهور من جديد اليوم بين أنقرة وتل أبيب مع الحرب في غزة والموقف التركي المتذبذب؟ يعني تركيا من ناحية تستضيف حماس وأكدت أنها لن تطرد قادة حماس من الأراضي التركية، ولكن من ناحية أخرى هي يعني تلتقي مع الولايات المتحدة وتحاول أن تلعب بدور الوسيط.
Time will tell. President Erdogan, first of all, the groups he met with in Washington, in the United States, rather, in New York, were Jewish groups, and we differentiate between Israel and Jews, as does Turkey, of course. But I think that this is not as serious a split as we had after the Mavi Marmara, because, first of all, there were 10 Turks, one of whom was an American citizen as well, who were killed. So it was a very dramatic incident. Secondly, at that time, Turkey was pursuing a different policy towards the region with that we're not seeing now. I think that the key question is whether Israeli and Turkish trade, tourism, and particularly intelligence and other cooperation, particularly against Iran, along the whole front from Azerbaijan and the Caucasus through northern Iraq and Syria, can continue. That is the threat that Turkey and Israel both share. Israel is not a threat to Turkey. Turkey isn't a threat to Israel, but Iran is a threat to both.
شكرا جزيلا لك ضيفي الدبلوماسي الأمريكي جيمس جيفري، كنت معنا من واشنطن.
Okay, bye bye.
وختاما شكرا لكل من تابع حلقة اليوم من واشنطن أونلاين. ألقاكم في حلقة جديدة الأسبوع المقبل، إلى اللقاء.